Okay, what we have here is a 1965 International Scout 800. It's got some issues. When I got it, it had very low miles, but it's lived a hard life. I'm in Iowa, and that's a lot of the reason. A lot of salt on the roads, a lot of snow. Came from Kansas, and I'm trying to bring it back to life. It ran great, everything worked on it before, still does, just switched everything out because I plan on going with a bigger motor. The body itself though had rust in the areas that you see the fiberglass Bondo in. I reinforced all that from the back, used naval jelly to stop the rust, and filled it in with fiberglass because I figured it'd be stronger. It had rust on the sides. I eliminated the side tanks because I didn't like the way they looked, mainly because getting gas was a pain to have to go fill up one side then go to the other side. I deleted that, put some fender wells in it to keep the mud out from flying everywhere. The lights were in decent shape in the rear. Everything was okay, but I switched the tanks. There's where the rust was on this side. Did have to redo my rear. I put the tank back in the back, still working on covering that with sheet metal. The sides still need to be done. I'm gonna bring it down and then over and then down, have it all bent so that it's all, try and make it one piece. Put seats out of a Dodge Stratus in here. And new floors though, new metal all the way around the floors and the sides so that I could get the floor done. I cut a hole in the floor for the back, but I'm gonna be covering that with sheet metal and recarpeting all this from the inside. Everything lined up perfectly. I tore it all out and redid it. All the sides turned out well. Tank sticks through the bottom just a little bit on the bottom, but I have another plate that's going to go from pretty much from there over to the other side. And built my own perches. Had some plates made for the top of the axles, or for the top of the leaf springs there, the keepers. Because these springs are out of an F250, 2.5 inches wide. And this side has the same deal. Got rid of the side tank. Had more rust down on this side, pretty much from the back of the fender well here up to the front, back of the door here, right around that area. I just recently painted the dash silver. I kind of thought that looked better, so I went with the silver look. And that's how it looks in the rear. Nothing much, got a bunch of junk in it, but it's a work in progress. New windshield coming. I do have the hard top for this. It's not a sport top, it's just a regular cab top. Doors shut very well. The front axles I redid. Made them a Dana 44s, like I said, but everything that I did on it, I tried to make it as solid as possible so that it would be able to take the abuse of the off-road situation. The track bar I made go to the top of the axle, and on the pinion, on top where the pinion is, the housing, I figured it's pretty thick. I ran it from there, from that point, all the way up to the driver's side. I've got that, I made that out of a, I don't know what they call it at Harbor Freight, but it's kind of like a turnbuckle with heim joints, very big heim joints. I figured that would work pretty well. I've seen guys using that system on 4-links. So I figured it's good enough for a 4-link, it'd probably be good enough for a track bar, so I used that. I did build my own drag link for this, and the center link is still the same, original. I've got all new bearings and seals and U-joints. Everything within this axle system is brand new. All new U-joints. I don't know if you can see that in there or not. All brand new though. Wanted to make for sure when I put this out that I wouldn't have a chance of it breaking on me. I mean, all new ball joints and seals, bearings, you name it. Went through the whole thing. Just didn't want any problems. Built my own front bumper. Plan on putting a winch on it. Still got a lot of body work, but new brake lines have to come yet, and I've got 35-inch super swampers I'm putting on it with some aluminum polished rims. Figured it'd look pretty decent. And I'm also going to be putting well, it's called plastic dip. Supposedly it's about $350, and you can paint this thing any color you want in a matter of minutes and it peels right off. So not looking to do an expensive paint job on this, because I plan on using this to have fun in it. Once I get the 304 in it with the 727 Torque Flight and the Dana 20, you'll have a lot more oomph and a lot more power. The inside the engine bay is not too bad a shape, pretty solid. Does have some rust in certain areas, but pretty solid all around this area that needs to be. The areas where there are rust are in the very front here of the fender well. That's where that one is. None on the other side, but no rust on the other side, just this one spot. So I'm going to probably re-sheet metal that, cut it out and re-sheet metal it. I'll have to switch everything out from the radiator being in that location to the front of this so that I can make room for the V8. Switch all the most things out, but what shouldn't be too hard. And that's about it. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I can show you more about the inside here real quick. That was the floor pans that I put in, the seat brackets I made, seats, the dash, how it turned out. Still has all the original gauges that actually work. I think this gauge may be newer, but pretty much all the gauges and all the switches all still work. Pretty amazing. Has all the original hardware, all the original things that I can think of that would have came with it. I'm not an authority on a Scout 800, but pretty decent. Full drive, still worked in the old Dana 27s that came with this. Just too dinky for my taste, so I went with the larger of the two, the better of the choice with the Dana 44s. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the video, and feel free to leave a comment.